Hey guys, it's DC here, and today we're going to go over what's new in Kali Linux 2019.4.
Raise the alarm!
So I'm going to read first off a list from their website, a few different things that they've listed are new, and then we'll sort of dive in and play around with it a little bit. So first up, GNOME has been replaced with XFCE. The reason they did this is because GNOME is a little bit of an overkill, and most people are using Kali with just a few windows open, like a few terminals and maybe a web browser. So they thought they'd sort of strip it down a little bit and take away the GNOME side of things and just sort of go with XFCE and as a more lightweight solution. Next up on the list of new stuff is PowerShell is now part of the terminal by default. That's kind of cool because PowerShell, I think they realize as well, is becoming a more and more hackable tool. And because it has such a large range of control over a system, it's pretty cool to use on the field with its access to things like Azure and Office 365, everything Office 365, depending on what user account you use. So if, for example, you were able to sniff out a admin username and password that had full access to Exchange, Azure AD, and maybe like an on-prem Exchange server or SQL server, you could do some serious damage. So yeah, PowerShell is now part of the terminal by default, which is pretty cool. The next one, which is probably the one I've seen the most news about, is the Kali Undercover mode. I'll show you quickly exactly what that looks like. So basically you just open a terminal, you type in Kali Undercover, and off it goes. It changes your desktop to look a little bit more like Windows 10, or almost exactly like Windows 10 actually. And yeah, that's pretty cool. If you're out in the field and you want some sort of discrete hacking tool, I guess this is pretty cool because you still have all of the functionality that you would normally have from Kali, but it looks like Windows 10, which you could always do before as well. You could always build that in, but now it comes by default. If you want to change it back from Kali Undercover to just normal Kali, you just type in the same command again and it'll switch everything back to hacker mode. The next thing they've done is they've enabled BTRFS in startup. What I mean by startup is when you're doing the initial setup, you can enable BTRFS, which will allow you to do all sorts of rollbacks, and which is good, I guess, if you stuff your system up on installation or you just want to go back to a certain point. It's kind of just like a system recovery tool, but with a little bit of extra stuff in there. The last new feature is Net Hunter, which is essentially the Kali we all know and love, but on an Android phone or tablet. And essentially what you do is you install or live boot into Net Hunter, and off it goes. You have the full functionality of Kali at your fingertips. So I'd like to know what you guys think about it, if you've had a play with it. I haven't come across any sort of issues yet, apart from when switching between Kali Undercover, the Windows 10 and the traditional Kali system. Sometimes it bugs out and you can't resize windows or bits of it disappear. And I think that's just because I'm running this as a virtual machine on a Mac. I've got it as a single boot on another older Mac, a 2012 Mac. I've tried it on live boot on a MacBook Air, which was I think a 2016 Model 1. A really old Dell laptop, which is at least 10 years old. I can't even remember how old it is. It's super old. It's usually just my little throwaway computer. As well as my work laptop, which is a Latitude E5420 or something like that. And it works perfectly on all of those machines. The only one I've had issues with is with VirtualBox, and not even a big issue. It's just when switching between Windows 10 and Kali. But yeah, I'd love to know what you guys think about this. Is this going to sway you to come back to Kali from using Parrot maybe? Or are you like a diehard Kali fan like myself? and this is sort of like your go-to pen testing tool. Let me know in the comments. If you did like this video, don't forget to give me a like and subscribe for more content just like this. Thanks, guys.
Изгибание ног с поочередным